Today we're talking all about artist little helpers, and I'm here with Tammy Honaman, who has some pre-made blanks and bezels. This is awesome, Tam.
And they are really big helpers, really make things nice and fast.
Good.
So when we're working with metal and we're soldering, you want to make sure your metal is clean. So I always just keep a little bit of alcohol on hand and clean my blanks and all my pieces that are going together.
Okay.
Before I start. Then we'll get right into soldering. And so I'm
gonna put on my safety glasses.
so I don't splash you.
Yeah,
That's a good idea. I'm just gonna spray some flux, get my torch fired up.
And the micro torch is fun because it's easy to use.
So easy. Butane. And see how it gets a little bit of white? I'll just spray it again. And when I'm at home in my studio, I will make this so it's nice and white, and that'll really help keep any fire scale from building on the piece. And I'm just going to turn it over and do another layer on the back.
Okay.
Just kinda,
Remind us why you're using flux.
This will help the solder flow, and it will make it not have fire scale when we're all done. Okay.
So it's not so much cleaning then.
No. All right, and so these pieces are hot, so I'm just going to use these tweezers. And these bezels have a little seat inside of them already cut, so you want to just make sure that you are keeping that at the top. And I'm just going to apply some easy solder. This is just paste solder, super simple. And I'll just apply that to the bottom ring around. You don't need a lot, but you do want it to be all the way around.
Okay.
And then I'll just place it onto my blank. Get that all moved around.
Very good.
Yeah. And really, it depends on your design, but I'm pretty, I try not to be messy, but I'm really random. Because I feel once you make a bunch of these, you're good to go. And it doesn't matter where the stone is. We'll scoot this under.
Okay, here.
This
Isn't hot, right?
No, it is not hot.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll just move that to the center. Thank you. Okay. Now I'll just like to heat the flux until I see it heat up. I can see the bezel moved a little.
That's okay. Does that mean a little bit of solder is going to be sticking out?
Yeah.
Darn it.
And then you can sand it off.
Okay.
All right, and then I'll come.
Did it flow?
Not quite. Almost there. Almost there. And of course, you want to watch and not overheat it.
For anybody who's afraid of using the torch, I always think about Kim St. Jean always brings out the creme brulee first.
Oh.
Isn't that a good idea?
Yeah, that is awesome. All right, and so once your piece is soldered, pop it into some pickle.
Okay.
And I really do use pickle juice in my pickle pot.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding at all. It's a very safe alternative to using
Spare X or something?
Yep, which
Okay.
those work. Those are great, but because I've soldered with my kids around, I just kind of got used to using something a little more
I have never heard of that.
homegrown. And my husband loves pickles, so we always have pickle juice.
That's funny.
So, and we can stamp the blanks. You can do whatever you want, which is why I don't really worry about where my piece is going to be. But of course, if you want to plan, you can be much more precise in where you place your bezel on your blanks. And then we'll set the stone.
And of course, there are different sizes of bezels, cups, and different size stones.
Yes. And it's good to make sure your stone matches your bezel. Now, what I also did want to show you, though, is if you do find that your stone, because they aren't sold and made by the same people, sometimes the stone doesn't fit. And I'll just take one of my dabbing punches and I will enlarge it just a little bit if I need to.
Okay.
And just because it's handy. I'm sure there's other ways you can do that. So then we'll just check, make sure it's seated properly. This punch is sized to fit the bezel, and it'll just do all my setting for me. Ready?
Ready.
And then sometimes I'll do this. And,
Nice.
right?
Perfectly set.
Yeah. And then we can do any size stone and keep making them.
This is beautiful. Let's take a quick look at these charms.
There are so many options available. You can stamp them and finish them however you like. And sometimes when they come out of the pickle, you want to polish them. You can make them shiny. You can make them satin finish, really, whatever your heart's desire.
You can go crazy on these pre-made blanks.
Totally.
Let's take a look at some of your samples over here too. These are gorgeous.
Thank you so much. It's
You're
fun
welcome.
and simple.
Definitely. So you can use them as charms. You could use them as pendants. There are a lot of different ways you could go.
Any way you want.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tammy.
Oh, thank you.